Today, Dr. Rosida, today we are going to present our assignment 2, topic technique in immunology, ELISA, which is the problem-based learning presentations. Well, as an introduction, as we all know, ELISA is enzyme-linked immunoabsorbance assay, and this test involves using antibodies as reagents, and it makes use of enzyme attached to one of the reactant in the immunoassay to allow the quantifications through development of color after the additions of suitable substrate or chromogens. There are basically main three methods for ELISA: direct ELISA, indirect ELISA, and sandwich ELISA. During running these tests, there are some common issues that always occurs, which is low or no signals, too high signal, high background, or poor standard curve. And this is the issues that encounters and the problems that we need to solve for these assignments. This is the results, and all the questions will be answered based on this result. And the first question is, the student found the colors changes in different patient samples looks the same. There is no difference in color for all 24 patients, column 3 to 5. What might be the problem and provide the best solution for this error? For these questions, the possible error could be incorrect dilutions of serum, sampling error, ineffective washing, contaminated reagent, or improper kit storage. Now, how do we correct this problem is, if it's due to incorrect dilutions, then we need to repeat the dilution procedure and make sure to use the correct value. If it's sampling error, then we have to make sure that the sample is leveled up and not mixed up. Infective washing, we have to repeat the washing procedure, tap out the buffer after washing, and use different tap tissue after each wash, and make sure to fill the well uniformly and should present during washing. For contaminated reagent, we need to check the reagent for any sign of contamination, as for example, turbidity of the reagent. And then we have to make sure that the reagent is kept at suggested temperature by the manufacturer, and the pad also stored securely dry. The second question is, antigen capture antibody was used to uptake the target antigen in blood sample. Blocking using albumin was conducted by student after coating of capture antibody. What is the importance of the blocking procedure? And our answer is, now blocking buffer, the important is to remove the possibility of non-specific binding. By remove the non-specific binding, we can increase the stability, reduce background noise, and making the assay more sensitive. Now, there are multiple types of ELISA blocking buffer, and they have their own advantage and disadvantages. For example, protein blocker, there are permanent blocking solutions. Detergent-based buffer are temporary and can be removed by washing. Non-protein blocking buffer offer advantages such as minimizing the cross reactivity that may occur with protein buffer. Single protein buffer show lower cross reactivity when compared to serum solutions or combined buffer. The third question is, in another case, a student found that all his sample tested has very low color changing, which is in column 7. Now, lower than standard 0.007 microgram per mil. Provide the reason leads to this error and possible solutions to prevent this. Now, the possible error is insufficient incubation time. Now, to correct this, use a timer instead of depending on memory. Use a timer, that means it will be specific time, and the time will be correct. Now, temperature during incubations low. Check incubator temperature and set to the desired temperature. Incorrect filter wavelength. Set the wavelength to 450 nanometer, or use it 600 to 650 if it's a dual wavelength reader. And then check for reagent contaminations, especially the conjugate solutions. Now, during pipetting, pipette directly from conjugate bottle to sample and avoid pouring the conjugate into another container. Then only you pipette to the sample. Now, use clean pipette tips for each transfer. For example, serum, detergent, bleach. Now discard unused pipette conjugate solutions and do not pour it back into the reagent bottle. Expired kit. Now check for the date of expired before start the test. Incorrect order or reagent or prepare incorrectly. Now repeat the step with the correct reagent order. Now recheck the reagent dilution calculations and prepare new reagent solutions. Sample is in undetectable range. If it's in an undetectable range, that means dilutions are needed. Then start with high concentration sample for testing. Well dry up. To overcome this problem, cover the problem during incubations in the incubator. Next will be questions D, E, F, and Sam will be explaining the answer for D, E, F. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. So my question based on D, E, F. So the first question, which is D. So I would like to summarize my answer. The first possible reason will be degradations over time. So one potential reason of this because of degradation of the standard over time, which also another reason could be improper storage because of the um, impact of the improper storage or degradation. So if the standard solution is not stored correctly or if it is degrades, it may not display the anticipated dose-dependent color changes. So degradation or improper storage could lead to alteration in the chemical compositions of the standard, affecting its reactivity in the assay. So how we can prevent this to happen? Of course, to to have a good proper storage condition, it's very crucial to adhere to manufacturer's recommendations for storing the standard solution. This includes specific storage temperature and of course the duration. And of course, freshly prepared standard solutions also helps to minimize the risk of degradations over time. And the last will be definitely ensuring accuracy. By taking this precaution, one can ensure that the standard maintains its integrity and exhibits the expected dose dependent color changes during the essay. So, what I can summarize from this, the student is highlighting an issue where the standard did not behave as expected in terms of those dependent color changes. So, what uh, uh, we can see from here because of degradation over time and or improper storage might be responsible for this error. So, to address this, then we can emphasize the importance of proper storage based on manufacturer recommendations and use the freshly prepared standard solution to maintain the accuracy in the essay. So we move to the next question, which is E. So what I found out is if all the samples are not in the range of standard, it could be the patient samples, sorry, the target antigen in the patient samples is either below the detection limit of the assay or above the upper limit of the standard curve. So there are two possible inferences that can be made from these observations. The first inferences will be the concentrations below the detection limit. So the what I can summarize from this is the observations that the assay did not show dose dependent color changes at different concentrations might suggest the concentrations of the target antigen in the patient samples is below the detection limit of the assay. So the implications what we can see from here is low concentration significance. So but based on this, this could indicate that the disease severity is low or that the patient is responding well to the treatment. And the sensitivity issue, this assay may not be sensitive enough to detect low levels of the target antigen in the patient samples. And of course, based on these studies, what we could have a few recommendations to have more sensitive assay. To address this, it might be beneficial to explore alternative assay with a higher sensitivity or lower detection limit for more accurate quantifications. So the second inference is concentrations above upper limit. So what I can explain from this is the observation that the standard did not exhibit dose dependent color changes could imply the concentration of the target antigen in patient samples is above upper limit of the standard curve. So what will be the implications is high concentration significance may suggest that the disease severity is high or that the patient is not responding well to the treatment. And the limitation of the assay reach may not be able accurately quantify high levels of the target antigen in patient sample due to limited detections range. So, of course, what we can recommend, the recommendation could be exploring high range assay. So, when for this case, it might be advisable to consider using different assay with a broader detection range to ensure accurate measurement of higher concentration of the target antigen. How I would like to summarize for this question is the two inferences highlights potential scenario based on the observation of the standard behavior in the assay. The first inferences suggest that the assay may lack sensitivity to detect low concentrations, indicating a need for a more sensitive assay. The second one, possibility of exceeding the upper limit of the standard curve, which is indicates the requirement of an assay with a higher detection range to accurately quantify higher concentrations. Okay, that's all from for question E. So we will move to question F. Observation is the color density in different patient sample remains same even after leaving the assay on the table for 30 minutes. So this explains the substrate reaction responsible for the color development in the assay. So could continue beyond the recommended reaction time. And this prolonged reaction time could lead to overdevelopment of the color and saturations of the signal. The result in uniform color density. So if the substrate reaction continues of an extended period, it may lead to excessive color development across all samples. So this can result in the same color density for all the patients, regardless of actual variations in the target analyte concentration. So how we can prevent this to happen? Of course, to follow recommended reaction time, it is very crucial to adhere strictly to the recommended reaction time for the substrate. By adding a stop solution at the appropriate time helps the reaction or prevent the overdevelopment, ensuring accurate and proportional color representation. And second, how we can prevent this to happen? Control environment. To have a control environment is very important, and of course to have a proper temperature which helps maintain the stability of the reaction rate, and of course the lighting conditions which also prevent the variability in colors development, ensuring the reproducibility across samples. This is very important. Is of course to have accuracy and precision, and following the recommended reaction time using stop solution are critical to produce a accurate and precise reaction or result. And of course, to minimizing variability, a control environment minimize external factors that could introduce variability in the colors development process. And of course, what I could summarize from this question is the consistent color density observed in different patient sample after 30 minutes may result, as I say, from the substrate correction continuing beyond the recommended time. This to prevent this crucial strictly adhere to the recommended correction time, use a stop solution at the appropriate moment, and conduct a assay or control environment to minimize external influences on color development. And of course, we have temperature control and good lighting control is one of the preventive measure to have accurate and precise result. So that's all from me. Thank you.